Whoa!
Hey guys, Lexstyle here.
And I'm Bad Tracy.
For Punk Rock Blues.
The fourth day of Christmas.
Fourth day of Christmas.
And my true love gave to me.
4 calling birds, one of our rating systems. I saw it, but did you move it?
What?
Today's movie is Tiny Christmas. Tiny Christmas. They're so tiny. Tiny, tiny. Big adventures come in small packages.
Tiny Christmas, the new Nickelodeon original movie.
It's this Nickelodeon original movie. What's the story?
It's from 2017.
Yeah.
And the story's very simplistic. Because it's like... So it's about this girl. I don't remember their names.
It's Emma and Barkley Farkley.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember that one.
Emma and Barkley.
So Emma just moved to...
Peoria, Illinois.
No, they're not in Peoria.
Well, they're right next to it because it's a short drive to Peoria, Illinois.
So they moved to this town, and
it's a white supremacist
their dad.
Town. They're black, and no one in town likes them.
No one. It's just the one lady.
There's only one other lady in the entire town, but she does not like them.
There's literally 8 people in the entire movie,
and only 7 get credited. Which one of them did it as a favorite of the director?
Maybe it's just the director was one of them. Yeah. Okay, so Emma and her dad moved to town after their mom dies or divorces them. They never make it clear. I think
she's dead. She's dead.
Basically, Emma doesn't have any friends or anything, and the neighbor across the street, it has like so many Christmas decorations. It's insane.
Yeah.
And
you think that's going to play a part in the movie somehow.
It really doesn't.
It does not at all.
Well, the dad makes that joke where he's like, "We gotta
get the lights up.
You gotta get more lights." But so the dad's like, "Listen, we don't have any family around here, so I called our nearest living relatives, and
they've heard stories about them."
All of a sudden, Whistling Dixie plays, which just solidified our like, wait, is this a white supremacist?
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's a weird white supremacist undertones.
But so they show up. And they drop off their daughter, and then they leave to go to a monster truck rally
in Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah,
it's
Sunday,
Friday.
Sunday.
And they leave to go on Sunday.
Sunday.
But her name is Barkley Farkley,
yeah.
Which is what we will say for her name every time. Barkley Farkley. Barkley Farkley shows up, and Barkley Farkley's just a weirdo, and they're always like, "Barkley Farkley, what are you doing?" They don't say that. That's what I was saying.
Just tell us the brief story.
And
you're just saying the entire plot. You're 10 minutes into the runtime already.
And so then elves have goggles that shrinky stuff, and then Elf shows up and accidentally shrinks the 2 girls, and then they somehow get taken over to the neighbor's house. I said somehow to leave some... spoil it. And so then it's basically they have to try and get back to get unshrunk, because if they're not unshrunk by midnight, they'll stay shrunk forever, because that's how the goggles work, because of Christmas magic.
But does that timestamp...
We'll get to that.
Stay reliant?
But then, as they're in the other house, they learn that the old lady across the street isn't just a mean old grump. She's having family issues, because we think she wanted to buy gifts for her grandkids.
I have a theory on it. We'll get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
But then she...
No, we'll get into it.
Turns out... Okay, so... Do you want me to just stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just get going.
I remember this movie really well.
What's your rating of it?
3 French hens.
What?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it 3 French hens.
Jeez.
I think it's totally fine. It's a Nickelodeon TV movie, you know? It was really fun. It had some funny moments. It was a bit boring at parts, but I don't think it was bad. It had a lot of plot holes and some consistency things, and it's not great, but it's totally fine. What's your rating?
This is the first Danny Bonaducci of the year for me. Out of every single thing that we watched last year, I don't know if you remember when we came up with the idea for this series last year, we said, under no circumstances will we ever stop a movie. We have to get through them all. Yeah. This is the first one. I was like, I don't want to finish.
I wanted to fucking stop Elf Bowling 5 minutes in.
That
was so terrible for me to watch.
It's so good. This movie, I wanted to stop the entire time. It was the first one. I was almost walked out.
I don't think you like bad movies as much as I do. This is totally fine. Acceptable movie.
The acting is some of the worst. I hate that.
Barkley Farkley was a kind of a bad actor. Barkley Farkley also, her character wasn't consistent because she was a weirdo, but she had weird references.
She had no idea what Christmas was, and then she knew what Christmas was. And
yeah, and
the only redeeming
she's best friends with her cuz already.
The only redeeming thing about her is that she looked like Lainey from Goldberg.
She really did.
You remember how good of an actress Lainey from Goldberg's is?
Oh, she looked like Lainey so much. Yeah. They're fourth cousins, thrice removed, and Barkley Farkley was just a weirdo. There's one part where the old lady's sleeping in a chair, and she's shrunk on the floor, and she's tickling her toes, and then over the walkie-talkie she's like, I'm gonna burrow under her toenail, and Emma's like, what? No, don't do that, Barkley Farkley, and she's like, oh, okay, I won't do it then.
And then she's eating candies off the floor, and she's eating nasty chocolate. Why was the chocolate?
Okay, hold on, before we get to the chocolate thing. So she's fighting with a cat. The cat literally does not look like it really cares.
No.
It's just kind of walking.
We have a problem. A big, furry problem.
Because they're shrunk, so a cat's their big predator.
Yeah.
Because humans can't see them, but then they can.
Also, it's just, you put your hand out. Be like, hey, kitty.
Yeah.
You know?
So many movies have done that bit.
I know! At least in fucking, Honey, We Shrunk the... Honey, the Kids Shrunker themselves. They did it again. They shrunk themselves the first time.
Did they?
Yeah, it's like an ant, but then there's like the spider.
That's scary.
The spider that shows up, and it's like, that's scary.
Yeah.
It's like, could you imagine if you got shrunk and there was a giant spider? I would have a heart attack. I literally would die. But,
well, no, you'd die because your molecular structure would be...
My little heart couldn't take it. I got off track talking about the giant spider. What are we talking about?
I'm either
the cat. Yeah. The chocolate. The chocolate is what we were going to...
Well, I was going to define the story.
She keeps switching. So the lady's eating the chocolates in a row. She starts with for no reason.
11.
It just starts at 10. And then she goes to 11, then 12, and then Barkley Farkley goes all the way to 13, and she's like, this is mine, lady, get away. The lady's legit like, if this is the chocolate, Barkley Farkley's sitting right on it, and she's like... And doesn't see her.
Don't eat my cousin!
You mentioned the numbers might seem weird. It's an advent calendar, but instead of eating the candies every day like you're supposed to, she left them all to doors. She just opened all the doors of the advent calendar. It'd be terrible. Advent calendar chocolate already isn't good.
Yeah. And their advent calendar's in order.
Yeah, you were really upset about having an advent calendar in order because we've never had an advent calendar in order.
They're stupid. I hate advent, whatever.
She just kept opening all the doors. By the 24th, that first chocolate is not going to be good.
Maybe that's why she started with 11.
Also, it's winter.
She's like, I got burned last year.
It's winter. It's winter. It's also winter, and I get it. She maybe is not.
Dude, they're tiny. This is another thing. This is what I said about Die Hard 2. They're little people.
Yeah.
They're even smaller. And they're running around in the snow. They'd be freezing.
Hypothermia.
Yeah.
No, but it's cold. You know the heat's running. That chocolate would be melted.
Yeah.
That's a prime spot for where the heater is. But also, it could be said...
Can I totally interject?
No, hold on. It could be said that the chocolates are being saved for her grandkids.
Yeah, maybe.
But also...
It's gross.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Totally off topic here. Their fireplace was just a TV with a still image of a fireplace. It wasn't moving.
But at least they call it out. There's a line where she goes, it's not even moving. So it's not like
but
it's
then
a joke.
later... Barkley Farkley's like, oh, I'm just watching fireplace TV, no spoilers, and it's like, that's a fucking still image. That's not a funny joke, Barkley Farkley, what are you doing? I wish we were doing a commentary on this, because how many times did I say that watching the movie?
A lot.
I did.
So I would have rather done a commentary on this than this video. I was actually going to say
Barkley
that
Farkley,
I wanted to find the story a little more, since you almost just did the whole thing. So the reason that they shrunk is that the elf... The head chief engineer, which I still think they should have called him...
Santa's not even in this movie.
They should have called him an elfineer. I'm still upset about that, too.
That's a better name. That's really good.
Yeah, I said that in the movie.
Can we make it... Has any movie used elfineer?
I don't think so. I think I came up with it.
I'm gonna...
Okay.
You talk.
His name's Alfonso, which I didn't get till the end of the movie.
Yeah, because they showed the car.
When they show his name spelled out, I thought they just called him Alfonso. It's Alfonso. Anyway, so he's the chief elfineer, which is patent pending me, copyright, whatever, Punk Rock Blues. And he makes these goggles to shrink all the presents so that Santa can carry all of the presents in in one bag. It's lighter. That doesn't make sense because Santa's never in the movie. Elves deliver the presents in this movie. They keep saying Santa's going to show up. I don't know what's going on.
So you search that, and these come up.
Okay.
But it's...
Oh, Elf Finder.
So it's Al Bundy got a job as an elfineer. So it has been used.
But no one remembers that.
So what were you talking about?
I'm trying to define the story a little bit because you were just rambling. Once you started to speed up, you left out plot details. But so he devised these goggles to shrink the presents so that more presents can fit in the one bag for Santa, but Santa's never in it.
Tell him the whole plot, then he goes, "You left out details."
Well, because that's only in the story section. But so he wants all the presents to shrink, but then he doesn't even know how to work these goggles. How is he? Why is he not demoted?
There's a freeze ray.
Why is he not demoted at all? But so then, he shrinks the kids in a heat of panic because he doesn't remember how to use his goggles when he gets to their house because Santa's not in the movie to deliver presents and they don't have a chimney, so he has to break in the window a lot.
Yeah, and also he doesn't even see the kids at first. He's like, "Oh, there were no kids there." Yeah, ridiculous.
So that's why the goggles are made, and Santa's never in it. Then to touch on the point that you wanted to get to with the old lady and her grandkids and stuff, I think my theory on this...
I think Timmy was her son.
Timmy's her son, yeah, because she says, hug my grandkids for me.
Yeah.
I think Timmy has not been home for the holidays in a long time because she's an absolute nutcase with her cat. She thinks her cat is a telepathic. Her cat's name is Tinselpaws. They very much love Christmas in this town.
Yes.
Sorry, she very much loves Christmas.
She's the only lady
This
in this
one
town.
white supremacist lady. Her cat's
They
name
literally
is
get to town and she's like...
She gets out of her car. Her car is... Christmas music blaring from it. We literally was, is this in the movie or is this the car?
Because they heard the music and we were like, is it from her car?
This is very loud.
So loud. It's like
and her car's wrapped in tinsel and everything, and then she gets out and she looks across the street and she goes... It's very awkward. But so I think Timmy hasn't visited her and brought the grandkids in a long time because she's a lunatic and she thinks her cat's a telepath.
Well, I think she's gotten so loony with her cat because Timmy ignores her. She's like, I want to love you, Timmy, and the grandkids, which are unnamed, but I instead have to love this cat. Also, she was blind. That's why she had the things on her phone. Never even thought about it.
Huh.
Yeah. Totally clicked for me.
That's true, because she had to put on her glasses.
A little bit of continuity there, actually.
I think the reason I would want...
Her phone, just so you have context, her phone, you could see maybe this much of the screen, and then the rest was like...
thick
textile, buttons.
It looked like a phone you get from Dollar Tree for a kid. Like I think
it's because she was blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
The only reason they should ever make a sequel to this would just to have Timmy and the family come over for Christmas, just so she gets a nice resolution.
What do they call it?
She joins, I don't know, Tiny Christmas. It's about grandkids. Grandkids are tiny.
They just call it
Tiny Christmas too. The grandkids are even smaller. We can pitch this idea to Nickelodeon. They can get
Do you guys remember Tiny Christmas? What is the actress's name?
She does have a good resolution.
They literally only cast the two.
Do you want to talk about the climax a little bit?
Her resolution she basically...
She joins their family.
Well, hold on. So she's at her house. She gets this really nice present for her grandkids, or maybe her son.
No, it's her grandkids. She gets them a drone copter.
And she throws a huge hissy fit about the elves trying to steal her presents, and she goes nuts.
Yeah.
But then...
She is nuts.
At the end, her son calls her, and Timmy is like, "Hey, the airport's closed down because of blizzard, so we're just skipping Christmas this year.
And we're not going to come till the summer."
And
it's
she's
like the one day of the year you could get off work.
Yeah. And she's like, "Okay," and she gets all sad. So then when Emma and Barkley Farkley get regrown, unshrunk, they go over and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come to Christmas and join Barkley Farkley and I's family?"
Yeah, then the dad...
Oh, we didn't even talk about the ugly pajamas.
Yeah, they when their mom was alive, they always took a family photo in ugly pajamas, and the mom's dead, and she was the one that picked them out, so that they don't do that anymore. But for some reason, the dad is like BFFs with Alfonso now because he gets all these custom presents made for them.
Yeah.
Like he just has the pajama suit for the lady and the cat. We don't even get the lady's name, do we?
Is it Mrs. Rules?
No.
Mrs. Rubes?
It's not. I don't think they named her.
Mrs. Riles?
Jimmy's mom.
They said it.
Do they?
It was Mrs. something. Mrs. Riles, Mrs. Rubes.
Because they never introduced
Mrs. Rubes.
But yeah, Alfonso, and then Alfonso's back.
What was the dad's name?
Dad. This is a Nickelodeon movie. He doesn't get named. Yeah, and then at the end of the movie, it closes with them taking their family picture with the neighbor lady and Barkley Farkley. And the cat. But then Alfonso's in the background. When did he show back
and
up?
he's a creeper.
Yeah.
He's like behind the tree, like...
And they probably didn't know he's there. I get it for comedic relief. But it was all like... You remember they're like, we gotta teach you how to use a door.
Yeah.
So he broke in through the window again. And he made a lot of noise, that guy. And also, the elves...
He literally broke tables.
Yeah.
And...
Elves are so tall in this movie.
Yeah,
he was a very tall man.
I will say one good thing about the elves. Their ears looked pretty good.
Huge. It was huge. Maybe it was a contrast then. Tiny Christmas. Let's get big elf ears.
Yeah.
I think I know the head elf. The head elf that kept coming in through the little...
Listen, if the people are going to be tiny, the elves need to be fucking huge. Let's find 8.5 feet tall people. Okay, there's no actors that size. Okay, let's try 6 foot. Alright, we can do that.
I think the main guy with the mustache, that elf, I think he's been in stuff. He's the one I recognize. If
I could be the director of this, or the casting director, I would have got French Stewart to play Alfonso.
You don't think he's too old?
No, I don't care if he's old.
He's an up-and-coming elf, that's what they say.
I don't... He's supposed to be the senior chief executive or whatever.
How old is French Stewart?
Amazon. How old is French Stewart?
French Stewart is 56 years old.
Do you think they could
He
have got
was
him
born on
French Stewart?
February
Yeah.
20th,
What's he doing?
1964.
I don't know.
He's tied up with the God, the Devil, and the Bob reboot.
I don't know how much left I have to say. Is there any other details you wanna...
I think we covered literally every second of this movie.
Yeah. Oh, no. There's one other thing we can talk about. How it's not hard to jump a train.
Oh my god, there's the toy train.
There's
yes.
a toy train in their house.
Now!
And
That was maybe the most
my
boring
God.
scene. It went on for 15 minutes.
The movie is only 66 minutes. We forgot to mention it.
It's 66 minutes long.
And this is like they didn't hit those 6 minutes, so they said, go film them trying to dodge a toy train.
It's
It's
long.
obnoxiously long.
It's-
It's like them trying to time when the train's going to
so
cross
the
so they
movie
don't die.
opens with there's a toy train
Yeah.
in their living room. And yeah, they have to run through this. It's like a snow town, but it takes a lot of their
It's a village,
space.
but they leave it on the floor, not
Yeah.
in the house. And every time someone steps on something, they're all like, it's no big deal. Put it on a
We have
table.
other ones. Yeah. There was a funny joke when he's like, I stepped on a little person. And he's like, oh, it's okay, I have other ones.
No, he says, we'll glue the head right back on.
He's like, I don't think that'll work. But anyways, so yeah, they're running through this town and they get to the train tracks. It is a toy train.
Yeah.
Which they couldn't, they were like freaked out to... There's also so much time.
So much
in between.
time.
You could literally dance across.
You know how long it takes to walk across a train trip? It's
Oh
like
my God.
2 steps. If that.
Then Barkley Farkley, this is probably her worst moment in the movie. She goes, I got this. And goes like this, and then she's like... walking nowhere. Then she turns around
And she
then
gets her foot stuck in the
somehow gets her
tracks.
foot stuck in the tracks. And it's a toy train. You could literally knock it off.
Yeah.
You could walk up and go like that.
And you know the speed of a toy train. It's
slow.
not that fast.
There's
And
parts when
this
they're,
thing's
like,
zooming around. And then right as they finally get
There's
across
that one
the
part where
train,
there's like 2 or 3 trains
Yeah.
that literally all at the same time they're like vroom, vroom, vroom. And she's literally getting blown around by the wind of them.
right at the end of it, when they finally get across the train, I don't know if you noticed it, because I brought it up, but not all of it. It literally does like a drift into a curve, and half of the train comes off the rails, and it starts sparking. Toy trains do not spark around curves on one side. You know, not one wheel,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm talking about. It's leaned up.
One rail.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about the movie, then. That's very bad. It's literally the 6 minutes over an hour.
It's very, very long. There was the one part where Alfonso shrunk all their furniture.
Yeah.
And just shoveled it under a different couch,
Yeah.
and just left. And even the dad was like, "Didn't we have a couch here?"
Yeah.
And Alfonso was like,
No couch, no cake.
Nope, I didn't see one.
He's an alphagram.
Yeah.
Tele-elf? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Alphagram.
Tele-elf sounds stupid. We'll put it in the Alphaneer movie.
Tell an elf sounds like...
Confessions.
Yeah, that's what a pastor
North Pole
should do.
confessions.
Confessions, they do that around Christmas. They should
Yeah.
dress up as elves and do tell an elf.
God,
That'd be great.
this Alphaneer movie is so... Because that's such a North Pole...
We should write this down.
Which notebook? I don't want to train Alphaneer like they did in Married with Children. I want him to be like a chief. Yeah.
It's like, good.
Bastard.
Will we remember this?
Yes, we'll remember that. Do you have anything else to say? We're finally done. I think your last thing was him scooping up the presents.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the outro. It's part where we do the outro. Like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps the channel out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, did we want to talk about... We mentioned there was 8 people in this. Did you want to say them all?
Oh, sure. Emma, Barkley Farkley, Dad, Old Lady Across the Street, Alfonso, 3 other elves. There you go. Subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you get us all the time. It's free and you can always change your mind, especially this month.
Yeah. That'd be really cool of you.
Yeah. Who are you? I'm going to grab the book to find out what tomorrow is and then grab tomorrow.
Oh, it should be in the stack.
Oh.
I'm Bad Tracy, your gracious host. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Stardust at BadTracy01.
I've been Lex Doll. You can follow me on Instagram at StrayJCStrike and on Twitter at IdiotDoll.
If you want to follow the channel as a collective on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, you can give us a follow or subscribe at Punk Rock Blues.
And you can pledge to our Patreon at patreon.com/punkrockblues. Truck us a $1
Or 25.
3 or 4. This is 4.
100.
400.
What's next week?
Tomorrow, not next week.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's movie is an untold story because we haven't done a review of it yet. It's Nutcracker, the untold story. See you then.